Dr Imtiaz Sooliman, founder of Gift of the Givers. He's raising some concern because the South African government is now essentially closing its airspace to flights carrying Palestinians trying to escape in Gaza. The news comes just weeks after the arrival of about 150 passengers from Gaza in the country, now in the care of Gift of the Givers. Joins me now, Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman. Thanks so much for joining us. What do we know about the flights, or at least the access to flights of people from Gaza and ending up in South Africa? Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, to us, it's straightforward from the outset. This is purely a part of forced removal, forced migration, and ethnic cleansing. When you listen to the people, it's not 150. There were two flights. One flight carrying 176 passengers, which no one knew about. They came to South Africa with no one's knowledge. And the second flight was 153. That flight too, we only came to know about them after a pastor found some people by a total accident and by chance. People on the first flight, and they mentioned the second flight is coming, and that there are family members on that flight. So with 176 the first flight, 153 on the second flight, quite a few of the first flight people were not found. We don't know where they are. So we're not sure if they left the country and went to some places, which some people did. And in the second flight, some people wanted to go to other countries. They had visas, and some who had visas but didn't have money, we paid for their flights to go to other countries to be with relatives. The investigation is this, and the feedback is this, that they were lured by a company called Al-Majd, from Europe. It seemed to be an Arabic organization, which means glory or something to that effect. And an investigation by Haaretz, the Israeli newspaper, Al Jazeera, and many other international media outlets and investigators found that this is a front agency set up by Israel, working with a guy who had Israeli and Estonian dual citizenship, worked with IDF and moved these people from Gaza at a cost of $2,000 each. Through Israeli territory to an airport in Israel, flew them on a plane to Kenya, and from there to South Africa.
But now, Dr. Sooliman, surely the South African stance is warranted when it can say equally, at the same time, while South Africa is sympathetic and supportive of the overall Palestinian cause, it cannot be held responsible, but it also cannot be accepting flights for people who have not gone through vetting procedures, visa procedures. In fact, the South African policy and the general policy, if we're talking about refugee or asylum status, is that you apply for status or asylum status in the first country after you have left the situation or the country of your strife.
Number one, we're not encouraging flights to come here. Let's make that very clear. I agree with the South African government stance completely. In fact, that's the first thing I told them. The moment I heard about the flight coming, I called Turco when I spoke to people and said, please, we need to stop these flights. They cannot come to South Africa because this is part of helping ethnic cleansing. We cannot do this. We need to go to the world body and make sure that Gaza is opened up so all the people there stay there, and all those in Egypt and in Jordan and all over the world come back. We don't want them to leave their country. We want them all to go back. So I'm the first one to phone government and told them, we don't want any more planes here. Please stop it. First of all, how did they come through? Check with civil aviation. No flight can enter a country without filing a plan with civil aviation. How come the alarm bells did not go on? Why did the red flags not go on? Is this like a common practice that planes from a war country, from Gaza, come to South Africa every single week? It's never happened in our history. Then the red flags gone, so we need to stop that. And I agree totally, and I support the government, and I encourage the government not to allow any more planes to come in. That's the first thing. The second thing is, those people who came didn't know they were coming to South Africa. The tragedy of all this is they thought they were going to Indonesia or Malaysia. Nobody knew they were coming to South Africa. It's only when they got Kenya, when they were issued a boarding pass, that's when they realized they come to South Africa. So when they came to South Africa, there's 4X. All of them allow you, without paperwork, without documentation, without accommodation, without a return ticket, they allow you to ask for asylum if you have two important conditions. One is if you're coming from a country that's under occupation, under which there is aggression, where you are bombed, or you are affected because of your political beliefs or your religion or your race, you are allowed. And the government, the acts are clear. We've got an entire legal team working on this. And in fact, the first 3 families at the refugee center this morning to apply for asylum. The rules allow them to do that.
I do understand that some of the families who have come on those 2 flights, some have already gone on to third countries. What about those who still remain? Do they apply for some form of asylum status, refugee status, or they here on the 90-day tourist visa? How are they being processed?
Well, we had to brief them because a lot of them don't understand the implications. We're encouraging them to go where their families are. So as I said, from the first flight, people went back because we didn't find anybody. We don't know who they are. A pastor found them by chance. Somebody told them about, they're in the country. And then some helped them find the others. So some said, look, some are gone. So we didn't get the whole lot. We don't know where they are. Either they're still in the country or they're gone. But from what we understand is they had visas to other countries where their families had moved either before October 7 or sometime after October 7. So they want to be reunited with them. Then there were others who said, look, we want to go to our families. This is from Flight 1 and Flight 2. We want to go to our families, but we don't have the means to go. So we paid for the flights for them to go because we want them to be reunited with the families. Those that stayed behind, that we found from the first flight, and those that we knew from the second flight because we were there to receive them. I mean, a group of people was there to receive them. We had legal teams set last week Saturday and this Saturday briefing them on their rights and, telling them the choice is theirs, whether they want to stay here for 90 days. If they want to leave earlier, we will pay for the flights to go wherever they want to go, or they want to apply for asylum. It's their choice. So they are deciding, and they will get back to us. They've got a 90-day period in which to make up their mind, whether they want to stay on the visitor's visa, go back in that time, or apply for the asylum visa. And it just happened last week Saturday and this week Saturday, and they need some time to decide what they want to do. But we are encouraging them as far as possible. They need to go back.
Imtiaz, we very much focus on the South African cases of people arriving on 2 planes. Where else in the world have there been instances where Palestinians have arrived unbeknownst to the local authorities?
We don't know that. We just know that the investigation's taking place. It's the first time we heard of it. As I said, the first plane came, we didn't even know they landed in the country. And the second one, of course, we knew because a mother of the pregnant woman on the plane told the pastor that this plane is coming. But in terms of there's investigations now, and apparently there are many such circumstances where planes have been going all over the world. I don't know that. I don't have clear information on that. I need more feedback on that, so I'm not sure yet about that. Yeah.
Dr. Imtiaz Sooliman, founder of Gift of the Givers, really appreciate your time.